Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom. Okay, so I want to get into a lesson starting off in Matthew, the 24th chapter and the 21st verse. So Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson to the elect. So I'll go ahead and I'll get straight into it. This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation. That's right. It says, for then shall be great tribulation. And I want to get that word tribulation in the blue letter. Okay. When you go into that word tribulation in the blue letter, it's thlipsis. In the Greek, it's thlipsis. Okay. And it goes into a pressing together, pressure. Okay. And it also goes into oppression, affliction, tribulation, distress, straits. Okay. When you go into the Strong's definition, you read down, it says pressure. Okay. It says affliction or afflicted, affliction, anguish, burden, persecution, tribulation, trouble. All right. So let me get this real quick before I read it from the top again. I'm going to go to affliction on the online etymology. Okay. Let me get that word affliction. It goes into misery, sorrow, pain, distress. Okay. Now let me get that word misery. All right. Because you see affliction goes into misery, sorrow, pain, distress. All right. Let me get misery real quick. When you go into the word misery, it goes into state of grievous affliction, condition of external unhappiness, miserable situation. Okay. So let me read this from the top again. This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation. That's right, man. During the time of Jacob's trouble, man, we understand that it's going to be worse than anything that we ever been through, man. Okay, worse than anything, that we've been through in the ancient world. Okay, worse than anything that we've been through when we were in slavery. Okay, that's how bad it's going to become out here during the time of Jacob's trouble. It says miserable situation. Okay, when you go into misery, man. So we know, man, people are going to be going through it out here, man. Okay, it's going to be people out here suffering during the time of Jacob's trouble. So I read this from the top again. This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. That's right. During the time of Jacob's trouble, man, it's going to be worse, like I just mentioned, than anything that we ever been through, man. Worse than anything that we've been through in the ancient world. Worse than any captivity that we ever been in. It's going to be worse than slavery, man. Okay, like I just mentioned, man, it goes to and misery goes to a miserable situation, man. Okay, the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Okay, we know that martial law will be declared. We know that this damn devil will come down with great wrath, as the scripture goes into in Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. Okay, the scripture goes to it how they shall be like madmen, sparing none, pursuant to 2nd Esdras chapter 16 and verse 71. Okay, we know that it's going to be a famine. We know that it's going to be women that's going to get raped. Okay, a lot of you people are going to see your sons and daughters get put to death right before you. Okay, it's going to get extremely bad out here during the time of Jacob's trouble. It's going to be worse than anything that we ever been through before, man. So let me get this in Jeremiah, the 30th chapter. Okay, this is Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7. At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. And we're in the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble right now. But what? We know it's going to intensify. We know it's going to escalate. We know that it's going to get worse than what you see right now. All the things that I was just mentioning, man. Martial law being declared. Women getting raped. Your sons and daughters getting put to death right before you. Okay, we know it's going to be men that's going to be like women during the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Out here afraid, man. Okay, completely confounded. Okay, not knowing what to do. Not knowing which way to turn. Not knowing who to call on. Okay, we know that America, which is Babylon the Great, is divided up into 10 different FEMA regions. Okay, you're not going to be able to move around as freely as you was once able to, man. It's going to be checkpoints throughout these cities. People are going to be hauled off to these concentration camps, man. Okay, Cannibalism will be going on, man. Okay, America will be invaded. Okay, we know it's going to be foreign troops in this land, man. Okay, so we know that it's going to be worse than anything that we ever been through in our lives, man. Okay, continuing on. But he shall be saved out of it. That's right. It says, but he shall be saved out of it. And who's that he that's going to be saved out of it? That's speaking about the elect. Okay, that remnant that the Lord will protect and ultimately deliver. Okay, so let me go ahead and get what else I had. Let me go to Daniel, the 12th chapter. Okay, this is Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up. And this is speaking about Michael, the archangel. Okay, continuing on. The great prince withstandeth for the children of thy people. That's right, man. That shows you how bad it's going to become out here during the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, we know that Michael, the archangel, is going to help us, man. Okay, continuing on. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. That's right. And that time of trouble that it's speaking about is the time of Jacob's trouble. Like I was just mentioning, it's going to be worse than anything that we ever been through ever, man. Okay, continuing on. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered. Okay, and who are the ones that's going to be delivered? The elect, okay, of the nation of Israel. Okay, that remnant. Okay, continuing on. Everyone that shall be found written in the book. That's right. And we understand that the elect will be found written in the book of life. Okay, so we know that the elect will be beamed up into the chariot when the Lord returned with an innumerable amount of angels and the chariots with him. Okay, so let me go ahead and get what else I had. Let me get this in 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, and I'll start at the 14th verse. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Okay, it says woe to the world. Okay, so let me get this word woe. When you go into the word woe in the online etymology, there it is. Misery. Okay, and we already know misery goes into a state of grievous affliction, condition of external unhappiness, man. Okay, so you're going to see it on these people countenances. Okay, that they're going to be going through it, man. Okay, so let me read Salaki. Let me read woe again. This is woe on the online etymology. It goes into misery, trouble, grief, wretchedness. Okay, so we know, man, these people, they're going to be miserable out here during the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Okay, they're going to be going through it, man. Okay, like I just mentioned, it's going to be worse than anything we ever been through, man. Okay, so I read from the top again. The 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. And we understand that it's drawing near, man. Okay, continuing on. And one people shall stand up and fight against another. And what's that going into, man? Civil unrest, man. Okay, continuing on. And swords in their hands. That's right, it says, and swords in their hands. And we know that a sword is a killing instrument, man. Okay, and you see, man, a lot of these people are stockpiling on weapons. Okay, you see that a lot of these people are emptying out these gun stores. Okay, but we know that a sword is a killing instrument, man. Okay, no matter if you got a gun, a baseball bat, you know, a beer bottle. Okay, we understand, you know, that it's a killing instrument. Okay, and we know that, man, these people, they're going to be using it during the time of Jacob's trouble, man. The scripture goes to it about how the love of many shall wax cold. Okay, so we know it's going to be like every man for himself out here during the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Okay, continuing on. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men. Okay, and when you go into the word sedition, it goes into uprising and rebellion. Okay, and we're seeing that right now, but we know that it's going to intensify, man. Okay, continuing on. And invading one another. That's right, it says, and invading one another. So we know it's going to be people out here getting assaulted, man. Okay, continuing on. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. That's right. So these people, they're not going to care what the governor has to say. They're not going to care what the mayor has to say. These people are going to be out here doing whatever it is that they want to do during the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, continuing on. And the course of their action shall stand in their power. That's right. So they're not going to need the governor to sign off on what it is that they want to do out here, man. No, these people are going to be taking matters into their own hands out here during the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Okay, and we're going to need the Lord understanding how bad it's going to become out here during the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Okay? And I'll continue on. This is 2 Esdras chapter 15 verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. That's right, man, because we know, man, it's going to be checkpoints. Like I just mentioned, America, which is Babylon the Great, is divided up into 10 different FEMA regions. You're not going to be able to move around as freely as you was once able to, man. Okay, continuing on. This is 2 Esdras chapter 15 and verse 18. For because of their pride, and we know pride is one of the things that the Lord hates, man. Okay, and these people out here are extremely proud, man. Okay, because of their pride, what's going to happen? I'll continue on. The city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. That's right, man. So we know that these cities will be troubled, okay? We know that houses will be destroyed, and we know there's going to be men that will be afraid during the time of Jacob's trouble. And why is that? Because of their pride, man, okay? So we know, man, this place has to go, man. We know, man, you people are going to get humbled, man, okay? Very soon. I'll continue on. This is 2 Esdras chapter 15 and verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. That's right, man. It doesn't matter if you know your neighbor 5, 10, 15, 20 years, man. It's going to be individuals out here not showing any mercy to their neighbors, man. Okay, looking to come against them during the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, continuing on. But shall destroy their houses with the sword. That's right, man. It's going to be, neighbors, kicking in their neighbors' doors. Okay, putting whole households to death. Okay, these are things that's going to be going on. Okay, continuing on, and spoil their goods. That's right, man. They're going to be taking their goods, man. Anything that's useful during that time, man. Okay, and we already know that it's going to be a famine. Okay, continuing on, because of the lack of bread. That's right. That's what I was just going into, man. We know that it will be a lack of bread, man. We know that it's going to be a famine. Okay, we know that cannibalism will be going on out here, man, during the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, continuing on, and for great tribulation. That's right, man. And for great tribulation. All right. So we know that it's going to be people out here miserable. Okay. It's going to be people out here greatly afflicted. Okay. Not knowing which way to turn, not knowing what to do, man. Okay. It's going to be people out here in fear. Okay. But we know that the elect of the nation of Israel will be protected and ultimately delivered, man. Okay. So with that said, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson to the elect. And I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.